Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. 1 day to go. One. And we've made 0 signings so far. Nothing. It's been a long window. The window started off with such optimism, didn't it? With the Vlahovic rumours and the fact that Arsenal were going to outlay all this money on Vlahovic. And then it's just quickly just gone. And on that Vlahovic thing yesterday, I forget which player it was saying to Vlahovic, "Oh, you made a mistake going to Juventus. You should have went to an intermediary club first." Intermediary. I mean, that's how we're being viewed right now. I mean, we've really got to up the quality of the type of players that we got in the team. And so far this month, attempts have been made. So respect for that. But nothing has been pulled off. Now, I see some of the rumours yesterday that we're getting desperate. I don't know if you guys saw the stuff about Alexander Isak yesterday. Of course, the Swedish centre forward who plays for Real Sociedad. The Arsenal fan base were in a frenzy yesterday. Eagle-eye fans, they were brilliant, by the way, spotted him at a nightclub in Soho, in London, with his teammate Adnan Januzaj. Remember him, Januzaj at Man United? They spotted him at Selfridges, shopping in London as well. They even done some detective work on a car that was registered to the DVLA with the custom number plate I5AAK, which spells out Isak or Isak. And apparently the car was bought and registered and taxed this month of January. And they all put 2 and 2 together and said, look, that shows that Alexander Isak, is signing for Arsenal. Brilliant on the detective work. Loved it. It was brilliant. It had me in stitches yesterday, but it is no evidence for me that Isak is signing for Arsenal. As a matter of fact, there doesn't seem to be anything at all in it, although I'm not going to discount it completely because he was in London. But listen, any footballer can come to London. London is a place where a lot of footballers come from abroad to shop. You know, it's not far to jump on a plane, come over, do a bit of shopping, go out to a nightclub and then go back home, you know, a couple of hours. But listen, we could do with a player like Isak. We need a centre forward. We are desperate right now. And this is why, you know, you've got fans going to such lengths to find out if there's a possibility that it could be, you know, something in this and he could be coming to Arsenal. The other player that we got linked with yesterday and is still getting linked with today is Alvaro Morata. Of course, we know that Juventus have now signed Vlahovic, and Morata seems like he's surplus to requirements. There's been talk of Juventus wanting to sign Aubameyang as that sort of second striker to Vlahovic. Now, the complicated thing about this one is, although Alvaro Morata plays for Juventus, he's actually an Atletico Madrid player. They own his registration, and he's on loan at the moment to Juventus. Now, there was a lot of rumours linking him with Arsenal. There's been rumours linking him a lot with Barcelona. Now, he definitely won't be going to Barcelona because there is no way Atletico Madrid are going to go and strengthen one of their deadliest rivals in Barcelona. So he won't be going there. So where will he be heading? Could he turn up at the Emirates? We're so desperate for a striker that I'm going to be honest with you right now. It wouldn't 100% shock me. It wouldn't 100% shock me if Arsenal went for a Morata, but I don't think people would be too overjoyed and too happy with a move for Morata. But listen, don't completely discount that one. Anything can happen on transfer deadline day. What's going to happen with Aubameyang on deadline day? Lots of rumours linking him with Barcelona. That could happen. As I said, they won't be able to get Morata. They're desperate for a striker. Aubameyang's available. How they're going to make it happen, I don't know. How are Barcelona able to do all this stuff at the moment? How are Barcelona? They're buying players. We heard they were skint. They bought Ferran Torres. They bought Adama Traore. You know, And yet still us. We ain't brought nobody in. And they're supposed to be in the mud when it comes to transfers and transfer dealings. But the talk is for them to be able to get Aubameyang in, they need to move out Ousmane Dembele. Dembele, of course, is on massive wages there. They've been desperately trying to get rid of Dembele this month or sign him onto a new deal. He's not going to sign a new deal at Barcelona. And they've said to him, listen, Dembele, we want you to leave. We want you to leave now. So it all depends. If Dembele goes out on the last day of the window, that probably will mean that Aubameyang will be heading to Barcelona, which would be a great move for him. And as I've said, day in, day out, what if he goes there and starts banging in the goals? How bad is that going to look on Mikel Arteta? But don't be surprised. I'll be shocked if Aubameyang is still here come 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Looks like he's definitely on his way out. Calvert-Lewin's been linked with a move to Arsenal, but I'm starting to look at this one and say, I mean, it was unlikely for me in the first place. Now I'm starting to think to myself, absolutely unlikely. Of course, Everton on the verge of announcing Frank Lampard as their new manager. There's no way they're going to let him go. You know, they're in a relegation fight, Everton. And brand new manager coming in Lampard. I'm sure Calvert-Lewin's going to want to stay and impress Lampard and fight for his place there and do the business. So that one's discounted. So who's the striker going to be? Who's the striker going to be? It's a really, really intriguing. You know, tomorrow, transfer deadline day is going to be a very, very interesting one for Arsenal. You're going to have to keep it locked here on AFTV. We're going to be covering it all day. Transfer Daily in the morning and right through. We'll be giving you updates. Anything that happens, anybody that comes in, anybody that goes out, we'll be bringing you up to date with it. But the thing I want to see is a striker coming in because I am a bit worried about this situation. With Aubameyang going out, who knows what's going to happen with Eddie Nketiah? There's been offers made for him that have been turned down. Are we going to keep him? Is he going to go? I mean, we could be left with just Lacazette. I mean, it's incredible the situation that we're in right now. Something's got to be done tomorrow. Surely. One positive could be Arthur. Arthur Melo, of course, who plays for Juventus. Now, we were told that the deal was dead and that it completely collapsed. It could be back on again. Could be a bit of a U-turn on this one by Juventus. Now, Juventus have been saying all along that they need a replacement to come in before they can consider letting Arthur go out anywhere. Well, it looks like they might have that replacement because it looks like on deadline day, they could be moving in for Dennis Zakaria. Of course, Zakaria is a player that's been linked with Arsenal in the past. You know what I mean? Who would have fitted in well in that sort of defensive midfield position. But Dennis Zakaria looks like he could be on his way from Borussia Mönchengladbach to Juventus, which then means that they would be able to let Arthur go and they may be willing to negotiate on that loan. Remember, they wanted an 18-month loan. Arsenal only want to loan him till the end of the season, which makes sense. So that could possibly happen tomorrow. That could be one, but that won't be enough for me. I actually think the priority is a striker. We could get by, I feel now, without bringing in another midfielder because, you know, the midfield crisis has passed. Thomas Partey and Xhaka, they're both over there at the moment in Dubai training. El Neni will be back, you know, as well as all the other midfielders, you know what I mean? And Sambi Lokonga. So we're going to be all right in midfield. You know, all right, we could do with adding some better quality there, but on the whole, we're going to be all right. But we're not going to be all right in the striking position as it stands. We're going to be woefully short. And Arsenal's problem all season has been scoring goals. As I reminded everybody a couple of days ago, Lacazette, 3 Premier League goals this season. Eddie Nketiah, 0. That's where we're going to be left with. So something has to be done in that area. You know what? Let me just get into a couple of your comments. I asked you guys, what do you think about Morata? And would you take Morata at Arsenal? Just let me do a couple of your comments here. Dylan Answer said, Morata is constantly good when he isn't offside, but he's mostly offside with scoring chances. We're better off salvaging our relationship with Aubameyang and buying a striker in the summer. And you know what? I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't say that you're wrong there, mate. Bribe says, how can Juventus loan out a player who is on loan to them? It doesn't make any sense. Well, that's what I said. It will be Atletico Madrid loaning out the player, not exactly Juventus. But Juventus would have to say, well, we don't want to continue the loan, and then he gets loaned to elsewhere, if you get my meaning. There'd have to be an agreement in there. Super Balloon 1 says, Morata is an enigma. Played at so many big clubs, never worked for him anywhere. That's so true. So true. And Glenn Knightley says, we've arrived at the part where we usually get desperate. Morata and Dembele incoming, he says. Mergin says, we're signing no one. After the announcement of Vlahovic going to Juventus, all the news about Arsenal transfers went quiet. Can't imagine we're getting good signings done in 2 days. And final one here. Puria says, if Morata was any good, Real Madrid and Chelsea wouldn't have let him go. We've always after Deadwoods, Gallas's, Silvestris, while selling Van Persie's and Henry's to the same team. And you got to say he's strictly right there. It's a big day tomorrow. What are Arsenal going to do? No signings, lots of outgoings this month, but no signings so far this January transfer window. 1 day to go after today. What will Arsenal pull off? As I said, we're going to be all over it here on AFTV. So make sure you keep it locked here for all the updates throughout the day. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Big day.